Hey there, this is Chad Garber, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the Line 6 HX Stomps distortion pedals sound good. So if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more. I was messing with the software and I was trying to get a new preset using the distortion pedals, and this is what I ran into. And I went through every single distortion pedal, and I drew the conclusion at the time that I just didn't like them. I didn't like any of them. I just thought the HX Stomp screwed up with their distortion pedals. But then I figured out what the problem was. See, what I was doing, if you look at my settings, actually what I had is I was just choosing an amp and a cab, and then I was putting the distortion pedal next to it, and I was getting equivalent to this sound. So what I figured out is that the distortion pedal has to be before the cab or before the impulse response, depending on what you're doing, but before the cab. So if I move this over before the cab and between the amp and the cab, it sounds marvelous. And so that's the lesson of the story. This is a short little video, but what I figured out is you gotta put the distortion pedal between the amp and the cab. Now, I also tried the distortion pedal without an amp at all. It's just weak. It's like, you know, I'll show you what it sounds like. It sounds just like this. I'm gonna turn off the amp and the cab. And that's with the drive all the way up. So I was like, what in the world? So you need an amp, and you need to be between the amp and the cab. Now, a friend told me that you can have, like in real life, you'd have to have the distortion pedal, you can have it before the amp. And so when I do that with the Line 6 software, for some reason, it's the equivalent of not having it on at all. So I'll turn it off. Doesn't matter at all. For some reason, that's how it is. So you put it in the middle of the amp and the cab, and then you get the distortion, and you also get the sound of the amp to combine to make a great sound. So if you ran into the same problem I did, and you couldn't get the Line 6 HX Stomps distortion pedals to sound good, check out where you have it. Put it between the amp and the cab, or between the amp and the impulse response, and it will sound good. If you put it before the amp, you won't even hear it. If you put it after the cab, then it's going to sound like this. Even if you try to put it behind the pitch and the delay. You got to put it between the amp and the cab or the impulse response. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to see more of these. Thank you so much.